Hello, this is Ryan, and this is a first look at the recently released Xbox Live Arcade game Splosion Man, a sequel to Splosion Man from a few years ago. Developed by Twisted Pixel Games and published by Xbox Live Arcade, you play as Miss Splosion Man, a crazy lady who is super stereotypical, who is nuts and can explode, and exploding is the main mechanic of this game. The controls are really simple. You move the left analog stick to move and press A to explode. That's it. But it gets really tricky when the levels get more intense. You can explode up to 3 times before you have to recharge, and this leads to a nice type of variety in the gameplay. You can explode off walls, ride along electric rails, go through cannons, and explode off barrels that further propel you as you do other stuff. But if you don't get your head around the gameplay, and the game's rather floaty physics, then don't worry, as the first level you play fits a really nicely done tutorial, which is actually quite humorous. And the humour in this game is a bit bizarre, just like Splosion Man. But some of the humour in this game really works well, such as Mrs. Splosion Man being stereotypical of a woman by walking on her tippy toes and singing really girly songs like Single Ladies and other things, but it can be a bit flat, just like the beginning of this level, where she encounters a guy with a beard and has love hearts all around her before exploding him. That is just really weird, but this game is crazy. It feels a lot more fast and more fluent than Splosion Man, and as a result it's more fun. There's a lot more going on screen with some really nice backdrops of hover cars, statues, skyscrapers, and generally a more varied environment than the labs of its predecessor, and adds some nice touches such as a mall where you can buy in-game goodies such as concept art and videos with the gold coins you earn at the end of a level. The level selection is also overhauled to a more Super Mario World-esque map. It works great, but that doesn't mean the stuff that made the original Splosion Man isn't there. You still explode scientists into piles of meat. The game is quite difficult and mostly a test of trial and error, but some of the well-placed checkpoints help you through that. The game is so much more cinematic this time, and it really shows Twisted Pixel was going above and beyond for a sequel for such a quite small developer. The music is once again great, with some really catchy fitting tunes and some that you can't help but love. The sound effects have a good amount of impact, especially the explosions being the highlight, and the main theme is really catchy too. The gameplay as a whole is catchy. The trial only includes 2 levels, and once you complete them you have to go through them again, but when you want to get the gold cup beside the level for completing it under a certain time limit to earn more gold coins and test your memory and reactions, it's a blast. There's a lot more exploding to do, but it doesn't matter because this game looks great. The particle effects of the explosions are great, as well as the lighting from Miss Splosion Man as she skates across the floor. The art style and design is quite manic, but that's what makes this game so unique and fresh. It helps with the game having over 50 levels in the full game, and it's generally a really colourful, compact, good looking game. There are a few downsides, however, with the trial being a hefty 1.8 gigabytes to download for pretty much 2 levels, and load times can be a little long in places, but aside from that there's a lot to see and do in Miss Splosion Man. Multiplayer makes a welcoming return, with levels being completely different from that of the single player campaign. Leaderboards make an appearance just like any other Xbox Live Arcade game, but they're more meaningful here, as there's a big factor on speed and unlocking as much as you can. But for 800 Microsoft points you can't really go wrong with this fantastic action platformer, so try out Miss Splosion Man, it's fantastic.